Heaven Black insecticide spray and coil.
Kennedy Ejapon summoned before the New Patriotic Party Disciplinary Committee over viral showdown video.
President Akufo-Addo, member showdown. Vice President, member showdown. So, Mama chasing me agent. I'm not going to shut them.
We'll go to the Ashanti region where hundreds of bags of onions brought to the Kwadaso market in Kumasi go bad due to delays in transporting the produce from Niger to Ghana.
Also coming up tonight, we focus on the work of 3 Foundation, the corporate social responsibility arm of Media General Limited.
On the international front, Russian officials say Wagner chief has been confirmed dead after genetic analysis of bodies found in Wednesday's plane crash.
We've got details of these and many more stories coming up in the next 60 minutes. Remember, we're streaming live on Facebook. We're also live on your DSTV channel 279. You can join us with your views, comments, and suggestions on any of our top stories this hour. Feel free to visit any of our social media pages on Facebook and on Twitter.
The news now in detail, and 3 out of 7 assailants said to have attempted to attack the NDC constituency chairman for Binduri at his residence in Bazua have been killed. The residents are said to have confronted the attackers, leading to the death of the 3.
The attackers are said to have surrounded the house and fired indiscriminately, prompting community members to come to the chairman's aid. One of the gunmen was killed on the spot, while the others fled and later succumbed to their wounds in different locations. The deceased were identified as Nashiru Razak, 32, Abdul Bashid, 23, and Muniru Bashiru, 22, hailing from Sagabo, Patrme, and Pusum in the Boko municipality. The Upper East Regional Police Commander DCOP Daku Ofe Lomote and his team visited the crime scene in Bazua to gather information about the attack and urged residents to remain vigilant and support each other.
He has done well, and by his action, he has saved the whole family. So we also would encourage you, all of you, if you have some information that you want to share with us. If you see something and you don't say something, what will we do? We will not hear, and will not act. So it goes together. You see something, say something, and we will do what? We will do something. All the military, police, prisons, immigration, NID, all of us will do something. Please, we are praying to all of you, and we want all of you to go to sleep without fear that somebody is hiding somewhere.
DCOP Lomote encouraged residents to use the police hotlines for assistance and to report any suspicious activities.
Because food security is a shared responsibility. Much of the work that we do is fueled by information. If you give us information, we act on it, and then the larger society will get the benefit.
Some residents who spoke off camera expressed concerns and shock at the targeting of prominent individuals in the area and called for increased security surveillance in Bazua. Meanwhile, security has been heightened in the town as investigations continue. On August 21, 2023, unidentified gunmen on motorbikes opened fire on a group of people at Bazua, killing 2 in the process.
Let's do some politics now, and the New Patriotic Party is to summon one of its flag-bearer aspirants, Kennedy Ejapon, before the party's disciplinary committee. This follows accusations he made in a viral video during the special delegates conference on Saturday. My colleague Christian Yale reports.
In this country, President Akufo-Addo, member will show down. Vice President, member will show down.
A visibly angry Kennedy Ejapon did not mince words when he threatened to give President Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia a showdown.
So, Mama chasing me agent. I'm not going to shut them. What do you
It was obviously one that would not go unnoticed, especially after he vowed to expose the two leaders over an aggressive attack on his agent in the NPP Superdelegate Congress. But the NPP says his actions amount to a violation of a provision in the party's constitution and also a potential misconduct on his part. Kennedy Agyapong is therefore expected before the party's disciplinary committee to provide responses and details to the threats made in the viral video. Kennedy Agyapong has qualified for the next phase of the NPP's presidential race after coming in second.
Yes, me challenge President Kufuor anytime.
The NPP has meanwhile also summoned 4 other individuals, including a member of the Alan Kyerematen team, Hobson Adoye, before the disciplinary committee.
Well, Dr. Kwame Asante is lecturer at the Political Science Department of the University of Ghana. He joins us for some more analysis on this latest development within the camp of the New Patriotic Party. Thank you very much, sir, for your time, and good to have you on News 360.
Hello?
Hello, Dr. Asante. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Right. Right. Welcome to News 360. So I'm sure you watched that viral video. In my mind and in the mind of several of Kennedy Agyapong's supporters, there was absolutely nothing wrong with what he said. He was only expressing his frustrations.
We all saw the video. We don't know what transpired. So now that the party feels that he has gone against the rules, I think he has to go there and then tell his side of the story. Then we can take the conversation from there.
I mean, an obviously angry Kennedy Agyapong saying that he will challenge Nana Akufo-Addo, he will challenge Bawumia, he will give them a showdown. What is wrong with that? I mean, what's wrong with that?
To be honest with you, I don't know what has really, what transpired, for which reason he decided that he will challenge the two gentlemen and all that. But I'm sure that when that committee is set up and he is made to appear, all these things will come out so that we will know the fine details now, for which we can make informed discussion on that.
I mean, prior to this yesterday's elections, there have been lots of allegations and accusations. There are people who've suggested that a certain candidate has been pushed or has been foisted on the party. They call that candidate the establishment candidate. That's Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, and there are suggestions that a lot of things have been done to favor him, that people have been caused to or have been whipped in line to support him. Now, how will this particular committee be set up such that, you know, the idea that people like Kennedy Agyapong are being intimidated will not fester?
It's a difficult thing. I mean, that allegation is there, and for you to be able to handle it extremely well, you need evidence. So I think what makes it more difficult is evidence. All that we have heard is that the rumor that, yes, he's an establishment candidate and all that. But as to whether that is a real issue, that's another thing.
Yeah, so if you're going to summon a candidate who did pretty well, I mean, he came second in yesterday's election, and you're going to haul him before a disciplinary committee only for making comments that he was going to challenge the president and challenge the vice president, that could amount to intimidating him. Don't you think so?
So obviously, that would intimidate him. But given who Kennedy Agyapong is, I'm not sure he's going to be intimidated. In any case, those who love him, who believe in him, it will not perturb them at all. They will not be perturbed at all. They will definitely rally support behind him. I believe that these things must be handled carefully. Otherwise, it can have a boomerang effect where the very person that if you think that you want to undermine, and I'm not by this suggesting that, but if that is the case, you are likely to make you more popular. So it must be handled very carefully so as not to ruffle feathers within the party.
My final question to you, Dr. Asa Asante, before I take leave of you. This particular allegation that Kenneth Agyapong was making yesterday about the fact that his agents were being chased out of the polling area or polling station is not alien to us. We had other supporters of Alan Kyerematen, for instance, who are threatened to raise issues with the party because their supporters were also being intimidated in areas like the Northeast region, for instance, where they say that some of the candidates were showing their ballots after voting, which was contrary to the rules of engagement. Shouldn't the party be seen to be investigating these allegations instead of, hauling people like Ken before a disciplinary committee?
Yeah, that issue, that allegation, if indeed true, is a serious thing. I heard commentary yesterday saying that, there were one or two incidents and all that. Please, in election, every incident is a major thing because one bad thing is bad enough to destroy the whole electoral process. So I believe that, as you have rightly pointed out, the party must, investigate that incident and punish those who really committed the offense. My worry as a student of politics is that if you look at what transpired, if indeed it was true that people voted and then showed how they have voted to others, you saw that people took a cue from what happened in Parliament some time ago, where parliamentarians also, some of them, undertook such exercise and they were condemned. And then NDC too, we saw how it panned out also in one of the elections. And now, if the MPP one is the third one, my fear is that it will not be extended to the national election. Once we get there, I tell you, we are in Okrosu, and I believe we will not get there. So this type of allegation must be investigated and nipped in the bud. We don't want that phenomenon at all.
Dr. Asa Asante, thank you very much, sir, for your time and for joining us here on News 360.
Let's now go to the Ashanti region, where hundreds of bags of onions brought to the Kwadaso market in Kumasi have gone bad due to delays in transporting the produce from Niger to Ghana. The trucks were locked up at the Benin border for more than 3 weeks owing to the closure of ECOWAS countries' borders with Niger. Ibrahim Abubakar has more in this report.
For over 20 years, Yahya Bala and his family have been surviving on the sale of onions. The father of 4 imports agricultural produce from Niger to Ghana and conducts his trading activities at the Kwadaso onion market in Kumasi. But a coup d'etat in Niger on July 26, 2023 will come as a big blow to his business. He has lost in excess of 1 million Ghana cedis that all 3 trucks of onions he imported arrived rotten.
Before that, every time they have coup in Niger or some of the neighboring countries, they didn't close the border for the onions and watermelon and tomatoes. But now they have closed the border. Our onions, it's a perishable goods, so it has spoiled totally. We make heavy loss.
The 58-year-old is among many others to have suffered from such losses. About 40 trucks, each loaded with 350 bags of onion, were all rotten when they arrived at the Kwadaso market. For 19 days, the trucks were locked up at the Benin border. Affected traders are only counting their losses while hoping for a miracle that will enable them to bounce back into business.
Bouncing back is in the hands of God, We are just here. I have just lost that money. We have lost it. Most people, I cannot go and hold anyone that he should pay me my losses. And what I'm praying and I'm praying is that all this should be resolved.
320 bus. Papa Kona and do 30 bus.
Mine was 320 bags, but managed to salvage 30 bags. The remaining bags have rotten. This coup has indeed affected our business.
Some traders who attempted to use the Burkina Faso route to Ghana also suffered from terrorist attacks. Several trucks loaded with onions were burnt by the insurgents.
They burnt our cars and the goods on the Burkina Faso road. We just chanced on them and they stopped us. They burnt the cars without killing anyone.
The leadership of the onion importers disclosed that the number of trucks that transport onions from Niger to Ghana has drastically reduced. This has led to an increase in the price of the vegetable.
Before you cross border, I'm trying to say a week, trucks bet my baby 150.
Before the closure of the border, at least 150 trucks came from Niger every week, but now less than 30 arrived in a week.
Trucks are buying 30.
A bag of onion, which used to sell for 800 cedis, now goes for between 1,500 and 1,600 cedis. The price, according to the traders, is likely to go up if the challenge that comes with transporting the produce from Niger to Ghana persists.
Traders here are not only counting their losses, but also looking at ways to escape from terrorist attacks. For now, they are hoping that the border closure issue will be resolved so they will have free access to the Ghanaian market to conduct their activities in a smooth manner. Ibrahim Abubakar, TV3 News, Kumasi.
A reminder, you're still watching News 360, our major news bulletin for the day. We're streaming live on Facebook. We're also live on your DSTV channel 279. Now, 3 Foundation, the corporate social responsibility arm of Media General Limited, established in 2015, has been at the forefront of transforming the lives of a number of people. Emmanuel Samani in the following report highlights some of the activities of the foundation.
The 3 Foundation, founded by Media General in 2015, aims to promote social inclusion and equitable access to basic necessities in Ghana. Through partnerships, donations, and dedicated efforts, the foundation has made significant contributions to uplifting the lives of indigent individuals and communities across the country. The foundation has supported medical interventions such as crucial surgeries for children with heart-related issues such as baby Michael and Adelia Doe. These success stories demonstrate the foundation's commitment to transforming lives. In addition to its medical interventions, the 3 Foundation has demonstrated its dedication to disaster relief as demonstrated by the Save a Life Victims of Nature initiative. This initiative provided aid and relief to thousands of residents devastated by tidal waves in the Volta region, showcasing the Foundation's quick response to urgent community needs.
3 Foundation is poised to transform lives, and we are proud that we have taken significant steps towards contributing to an inclusive society. We look forward to a constructive partnership with the public and development and donor agencies to create awareness and get duty bearers to respond to critical issues such as child labor and child marriage.
The 3 Foundation aims to expand its impact by exploring alternative fundraising channels and collaborations with corporate Ghana. Its approach is rooted in collaboration and impact-driven initiatives focusing on health, education, and community development. The foundation is also partnering with Ghana's Most Beautiful to prioritize girl-child education and encourage philanthropy to empower communities. The foundation's goal is to improve the quality of life for all Ghanaians.
3 Foundation's crowdfunding activities are still ongoing, and we are keen to help the vulnerable and marginalized voices in the society. To this end, we appeal to the public to support our impactful interventions. We can be reached on 059 74 33 110.
The foundation raised over 424,000 cedis in 2022 to support interventions for individuals facing health challenges, including heart conditions and spinal issues. To further its mission, the Three Foundation encourages individuals and corporate entities to make a positive impact. Three Foundation remains a beacon of hope and transformation in a world where change is needed now more than ever. The unwavering commitment and collaborative spirit demonstrates that small acts of kindness can create a ripple effect of change that resonates across communities and generations.
Let's continue with the rest of our stories. An Ashaiman in the Greater Accra region has been identified as one of the hotspots for childhood lead poisoning, together with Yendi and Efija Kwabre municipalities. The survey, a collaboration between Pure Earth Ghana, the Ghana Health Service and UNICEF, identified a traditional eyeliner as containing worrying levels of lead. Manasseh Apurum was in Ashaiman and has filed this report.
The news team got to Zenu in Ashaiman mid-morning on Friday. Children were away at school, mothers were busy attending to chores and putting their homes together. Childhood lead exposure, per the research, is usually from children's contact with mothers through breastfeeding and other activities. Vida is a mother of two, currently nursing a toddler. She tells of how she knew of lead poisoning and what she does to limit her child's exposure to the toxic substance.
It does scare me because most of our things we use, especially in our kitchen, is made of lead. Hand washing, one, and always make sure my things are checked very well.
Unlike Vida, some mothers were only hearing about lead poisoning for the first time.
I didn't have an idea about it until today.
On a normal weekday, children would spend the better part of their days in the school, except on weekends. Thus, it is important to consider the school ecosystem in the conversation of limiting childhood lead exposure. Sir Lord is an administrator at a private school in Ashaiman.
We have our cleaning every week. We make sure we tidy up the place so that at least the place will be very convenient for everybody to stay.
The research revealed that Shilu, a traditional eyeliner, was a leading cause of childhood lead poisoning, particularly in the northern region. Some variants of the substance contained up to 100% lead concentration and generally exceeded the Ghana Standards Authority's lead threshold in cosmetics.
First,
I decided to do a few checks in the market and came across a stone, a preferred authentic choice of the Shilu traditional eyeliner, until other variances started gaining grounds on the market. Sahada too is a mother of 6 and currently nursing a toddler. She has used Shilu on her children and still does. I found out from her whether or not she was aware of its toxic component.
I didn't know about the side effects of Shilu until you mentioned it. It is scary, but we are used to its usage.
A medical practitioner at the Accra Medical Center, Dr. Victor Azuma, however, maintains that the risk involved far outweigh any benefits.
Too much of lead in the brain can cause low IQ, learning disability as well. You can even go up and cause jerks, something we call seizures in those children as well. Motor and sensory abnormalities as well. When it affects the kidneys, you have kidney failure. It can affect the liver as well and cause chronic anemia in children. Lead, when it gets into your bloodstream or in your body in those levels, the side effects I don't think is worth what we think those things are preventing at all.
By way of prevention and limiting childhood lead exposure, this is what the medical practitioner had to say.
Importation and usage of lead unnecessarily in so many daily things we use we can actually find alternatives than lead. We educate our mothers on this shell they use. If you don't educate them, all they know is that it's good. Now, it's good, but everything comes with side effects. We haven't educated them on that.
There is more to do in ensuring that the environment is a safe space for children. Manasseh Aprum, TV3 News, Ashaiman Zenu.
Insightful report by Manasseh Aprum. We have more news coming up shortly. Don't go away.
We're going to demonstrate to you the superior properties of Flamingo paint as compared to other paint brands on the market. We take equal quantities of Flamingo paint and this ordinary paint. We then dilute them with water. And now let the test begin. The gentleman on the left is going to apply the ordinary paint, and the gentleman on my right will use the Flamingo superior paint. As you can clearly see, Flamingo has the obvious better hiding. Furthermore, Flamingo has painted a much larger area. You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint is made with superior formulation to give superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
You dey sleep? That's Madina.
Sentuntum say wunna ma deju me ma wonsa.
Efrema bema gani oba.
Ma wonsa. Sentuntum amwa sumuda ma wonsa.
That shall not slap. Having black mosquito quail. Common tontom, na empom wisie bebre, na ema wo mowa, na ema wo nhwem, na ehwam.
Having insecticide spray, hwam, na saso kumu a wotu ene omo wia nyina. Now having naphthalene balls and having perfumed insect repellent, no, kumu a wia, na senja hwa wechiri.
Having black mosquito quail, empom wisie bebre, and say wo hwene so. Ehwam kama, no, emubu, na jumo size no. Don't shit to me no.
And a heaven spray, heaven naphthalene balls, ni perfumed insect repellent no. Kumwa mutu, na wa nam from nothing just shawechi.
Heaven dear, bakope. Heaven dear, bakope. Heaven dear, bakope. Heaven dear, bakope.
FDA actually a dread crato yatum.
Who no like chop money? They want chop money is here. Collect your chop money every morning at 10 a.m. by simply dialing *446# and select option 2 to play Day 539 chop money. Win 40 times your stake with Direct 2, 400 times your stake with Direct 3, and 20 times your stake with Direct 1. You can also pay your numbers to win big. You only pick your numbers from 1 to 39, so winning is easy. Dial *446# to play Day 539 chop money now. Dewa, have fun.
There are some moments that last forever because they happen only once. Like your very first day, your first day of school, your first successful bike ride. What's your child's next milestone? Auntie Mary's Gripe Mixture is here to ensure they smile through it all. Auntie Mary's Gripe Mixture has been keeping children smiling for more than a decade by relieving them from gastric pain, flatulence, minor digestive upset, and teeth and discomfort. Now, Auntie Mary's Gripe Mixture. Auntie Mary's Gripe Mixture is manufactured and distributed by Ernest Chemists Limited. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Whenever you fly to space or take your first step as baby, SoftCare always stays with you.
New SoftCare Space Series is rooted from space technology. Keeps you dry and comfortable for 12 hours long. Offers you the most effective protection during your space journey.
SoftCare. Protect your leap.
You're still watching News 360. This is our major news bulletin for the day. We're streaming live on Facebook, also live on your DSTV channel 279. Now, the fight against illegal mining seems to be gathering some momentum after the Asantehene used one of his chiefs as a scapegoat. The chief of Abodom, Nana Saforo Koto, has lost his stool after charges of indulging in illegal mining were pressed against him at the Menchia Palace. While some residents of Abodom have welcomed the Asantehene's ruling, my colleague Benjamin Edu has filed this report.
Say and illegal logging have depleted several arable lands in parts of the Ashanti region. Security measures to counter these acts of environmental degradation has yielded little results because in most cases, influential persons in society are neck deep. The Asantehene did not mince words when in May this year vowed to deal with any of his chiefs operating or supporting illegal mining in his traditional jurisdiction.
Illegal logging and illegal mining continue to pose a threat to our forests. It means that government cannot do it alone. We must all get involved and support government to come to grips with these matters. My chiefs know that I've been speaking about this, and I'm not happy with chiefs in Amansia area where Galamsey has taken over the land, and I say to them that if you sit there and you claim that you don't know what is happening, then you are not fit to be a chief over there.
A traditional authority walking the talk. Chief of Abodom was the first to be used as a scapegoat. Among his charges were illegal mining and logging. He was accused of several infractions, including Galamsey. We called him several times to file his defense, but he ignored. You have been distilled.
Say in ya de kwa in ya papa nko ke say in ya ni timber contractors in umunye bi.
The chief committed a taboo after leasing our only forest reserve to a timber contractor. The forest is now depleted. In 1 month, the Asantehene has distilled 5 of his chiefs.
Let's now go to the northern region where residents in the Saboba district have staged a protest over the deplorable nature of the 30-kilometer Yendi-Baoba-Saboba road. They have given the government 30 days to fix the road.
The 30-kilometer Yendi-Baoba-Saboba road becomes inaccessible every year during the raining season as portions of the road are mostly washed away. Residents and commuters are always confronted with the miserable condition of the road. They have been compelled to resort to the use of canoes to cross some portions of the road. Health, agriculture, and education are mostly affected. The residents staged a demonstration to vent their anger over what they described as neglect of their major challenge by the government. Convener of the protest, Jelula Jagre Morris, said the current condition of the road is hindering the development of the area.
We implore your prompt intervention to allocate the necessary resources and prioritize the replacement of the Peba and Wapulu bridges and the maintenance of the Saboba roads.
They want the government to fix the road, especially the Peba bridge.
It is a challenge and we need the government to come our aid. All the businessmen and women who are trading within this area, normally things happen this way. The produce that we have in the warehouses, the produce that we have in the rooms all get spoiled.
Some of the protesters also shared their frustrations.
After 1 month, if we don't see that there is any conscious effort towards maintaining or working on our roads, then we know that government doesn't regard us as Ghanaians.
then we will have to look at the next steps forward.
Our women, especially when they are on labor, we don't know what to do. When they are pregnant, maternity side, we don't know what to do. Students are suffering when they are to write their BEC exams. They don't know what to do. We are lucky that this year they shifted it back. Like by this time, the children will have crossed the river and go to write their BEC exams. So last year, they crossed that way to write their BEC exams. So we don't know why we are not part of Ghana or what. Sawoba is not part of Ghana or what, and those things is happening.
The protesters later presented a petition to the Saboba District Assembly. The Yendik-Pauba-Saboba Road connects the Saboba District to other parts of the northern and northeast regions.
Let's return to politics and on the issue of the New Patriotic Party and the decision to haul Kennedy Agyapong before the disciplinary committee. We've been finding out what legal basis the party has in referring 4 of its members, including Kennedy Agyapong, to the committee.
Even before Kennedy Agyapong could savor the taste and smell of a seeming victory at yesterday's Super Delegates Congress of the New Patriotic Party, where he placed second, upsetting Alan Kyerematen. He has been dragged before the disciplinary committee of the party for his infamous showdown comments. He's not the only one who suffered this fate. Hobson Adoye, a member of the Alan Kyerematen campaign team, and 3 others have also been dragged before the committee for a breach of a number of the constitutional provisions. Now, what are these constitutional provisions? In the NPP constitution, there are 3 of these provisions. The first one is Article 10(7). Now, this is the article that speaks to the powers of the General Secretary in overseeing and running the party and coordinating all of these activities. Now, the effect of this is that, this provision is that in running the activities of the party, the General Secretary has the powers to make such referrals to the disciplinary committee, and he has exercised these powers and these rights according to Article 10(7). Again, another article is Article 3(5)(a)(1) to 4. This is the part of the NPP constitution that speaks to the rights and duties of members of the political party to uphold and defend the party's decisions and its, tenets at all times. This is what these 4 members of the party, including Kennedy Agyapong, have been accused of breaching in relation to upholding and at all times defending the party for the comments that they made. Because of this, they have been dragged before the committee. The other article, last article, speaks to misconduct and how it is dealt with by the New Patriotic Party as a political institution. It says that if you are found guilty of misconduct, there's a clear disciplinary procedure that you must be taken through. That is the fate that these 4 members of the party, including Kennedy Agyapong, have suffered. In the last few months, in July and in May this year, 2 members of the party, or 3 of them if you'd like, of mid-profile in the party, including the former parliamentary candidate for Sege, Eunice Lassie, and some executives in the Akachi North constituency of the New Patriotic Party, have all been dragged to a disciplinary committee. In fact, they have been suspended. They have gone through the disciplinary procedures and have been suspended according to the dictates of this article 4, which talks about misconduct in the party. Will Kennedy Agyapong and the 3 other members, including Hobson Yaovi Adoye, suffer this fate? Will they be suspended? Time will tell.
In more news tonight, the National Health Insurance Authority is working to eliminate manual claims by health service providers. CEO of the NHIA, Bernard Okoboy, observed that electronic processing of claims will quicken payment of premiums to health facilities providing care to patients under the scheme.
Health service providers working with the National Health Insurance Authority rely on manual claims for their premium payments. This process often does not ensure prompt payment of claims, compelling the World Bank to commit $181 million over a 5-year period to train some service providers on the new software under the Primary Healthcare Improvements Program for results. Parts of the World Bank's funding will also be used to enroll more poverty-stricken citizens onto the scheme. Chief Executive Officer of the National Health Insurance Authority, Dr. Bernard Okoboy, gave further insight into the innovation.
Some 5-6 years ago,
just about 10% of providers submit electronically. All of them do manual or paperwork. And that one, it takes sometimes between 3 to 8 months to submit the claims. And if you take 8 months to bring your paperwork, when will you receive the money? It will take us also some time before we pay you. So as they do these two things, it's all about making sure every Ghanaian has access. The biggest challenge is monies that are taken from people with a card. We've thrown a challenge to the facilities to take away that behavior of taking money for services that are on the National Health Insurance Scheme.
A health economist with the World Bank, Enoch Otiejekum, indicated the World Bank's resolve to fund developmental projects by the NHIA.
We are in a continual relationship with the government and in the health sector. If there are other needs that the bank has to support, and we are in the comparative advantage to provide that support, we would provide that support.
The National Health Insurance Scheme has in excess of 15 million members.
We're going to take a quick break. When we return, we've got the very latest in the world of sports.
Evaporated milk. Ooh. Tasty and creamy, right?
So.
And Napa milk, custard one fine. Nasa Tom Brown no rice water muswa nice. Honey trip na so made the Napa mayonnaise. And I'm salad and a burger. Fries so and Napa tasty ketchup. And a good side. Coffee jollof no so made the end of long green rice. Oh, you are one. Don't forget your favorite and a chocolate milk drink.
Oh, more quite so.
Honey, you are sorted.
I'm in control like a pilot on Anapa Airways.
Mama.
Me know.
Anapa, I can't stand it.
Just a moment. And now power, huh?
Yeah!
Oh, yeah, Jack Macron, no more. It's you cannot guess it there. Hey, you contumre. What are clean? Tomato sauce, I want you, baby. And a pass sardine for box with salad here. Hey, you stew. And a jollofa. Never to the one. That don't know it though. Up to that. And the ball of ya, or made to bunny a doa. You want a pass sauce, check for you, sir. Oh, more tasty. And a big beans for the breakfast. Let's all a salad in the one. Oh, she and a patuna. We can puffle. Let's all a salad in the one. Oh, taste good. And a pan on dairy creamer. 4 box we so can see oats, na cremitino. Yawa and a spaghetti. Talia papa B. Mansunin sijadu re. Nafa and a spaghetti no gum. Wo and a patalia no I ready for watch on you with stew. So ya napa no so kodia.
In Krati, FDA appendo.
It's the Premier League, all on DSTV. All the goals, clashes, and moments. All of Rashford, Salah, and Saka.
Their start is getting better and better.
All in the language of your choice. All in HD. Available on all these bouquets to choose from. To watch on all these devices. Get DSTV with an HD decoder plus 1 month compact for 299 CDs. It's the Premier League, all on DSTV.
Are you tired of struggling with bad financial situations? At Quick Credit, we understand the difficulties that come with transitioning to a better one. That's why we're here to simplify the process for you. With loan facilities from 1,500 cedis upwards, all you have to do is call and we will take care of the rest. All you need is your national ID. No savings, no collateral, no susu, no deposits, and no account opening required. Quick Credit has you covered. Whether you're expanding a business, starting a new one, facing an emergency like school fees or funeral expenses, or even just in need of a salary loan. What are you waiting for? Call Quick Credit today. 0302 200 390 or 059 692 0833. We do not give loans via the internet. Quick Credit is regulated and licensed by the Bank of Ghana. Terms and conditions apply. Quick Credit. Lending made simple.
brought to you by Bell Pack Tissues.
Time now for the latest in the world of sports news. Falco, so what do you want to see?
Aniela, I love her smile always, and I'm lost for words. Aniela, what do you have coming up?
We'll be starting with the English Premier League today. Darwin Núñez absolutely stole the show. Everybody, exactly, definitely. So we'll be starting with that. We begin with the English Premier League. Manchester City move to the top of the table following a 2-1 win over Sheffield United. Elsewhere, Darwin Núñez came off the bench to
his career as a very young kid at Liverpool. Runs by Virgil van Dijk, free kick. Liverpool are under intense pressure and they are down to 10.
So John Brooks must have seen something else. Well, I have to say, for me, I don't think that's a red card. If anything, it's a free kick, and if he's going to give anything, it has to be a yellow.
Oh, it's fallen for Darwin Núñez. Clumsy from Botman! And Darwin Núñez levels the game for 10-man Liverpool. Now here's Darwin Núñez. No flag again. Darwin Núñez! Has he won it for Liverpool?
In the centre-half position, he can't get anywhere near Núñez. And what does he do? He goes for that far post yet again with a lovely Newcastle.
Off the post. Not for committing himself. Grealish can stand it up for Haaland. And finally, the resistance is broken. He's onside here. Chance to make it 2. Now the flag comes up against him. Sheffield United had a chance. It was very chancy from Walker. And it's led to this for Bogle. 1-1. Walker. Embarrassing Larousse. Foden setting it up, and it's in from Rodri. Parity lasted only 3 minutes, and that is the mark of champions. Rodri coming up trumps again.
Staying in England, Mohamed Kudus has finalized a 5-year agreement with the possibility of an additional year at West Ham United. The signing comes ahead of his €44.5 million transfer from Ajax. Having flown to London on Saturday, the 23-year-old underwent a medical evaluation and has been officially unveiled by the Premier League club.
Kudus, left foot, believe the hype, East London. We outside, Abontin.
Proceeding to the Continental Front, Dreams FC staged a remarkable comeback to overcome Guinean side Milo FC to advance to the next round of the CAF Confederation Cup. The Still Believe outfit came from behind to record a 2-1 victory over Milo FC at the Accra Sports Stadium in the second leg. Elsewhere, Nigeria, Midiama advanced to the next round of the competition, winning a thrilling 3-2 penalty shootout against Remo Stars after a 1-1 aggregate draw in regular time at the Remo Stars Stadium. Moving on to the World Athletics Championship, Noah Lyles won his 3rd world gold of the championship in Budapest after anchoring the U.S. team to a victory in the 4x100-meter relay. Also, Sha'Carri Richardson added by the 4x100-meter relay world gold to her individual 100-meter individual title.
What a backdrop here in Budapest, and what a roar from this passionate crowd. Coleman's run a really good first bend there. Zarnell Hughes eating up the ground on the Olympic champion. Jacobs. Good running on the outside by Japan. It's pretty tight. Lyles will need a good leg here. Can he deliver? Was there ever any doubt? He promised 3. He's delivered 3. Italy take the silver, and it was tight on the line between Great Britain and Jamaica. But this week has been about the man who promised a hat-trick. The United States anchored home.
Set.
What a long hold and what a sense of anticipation. One of the all-time great relay lineups. United States have started quickly. Watch for Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce down the back straight. And Tarlou for Côte d'Ivoire. TT Terry flying round that bend. Oh, there's fallers there. I think it's the Ivory Coast. That's a huge shame for them. United States against Jamaica, side by side. The 100-meter champion against the 200-meter champion. Richardson, Jackson. She's closing, but not fast enough. It's gold for the Americans. Redemption. Redemption for the American team. Brilliant performance. Absolutely superb. They have done the double, and they've done it in spectacular style. They've rounded off the penultimate night.
That will be all for sports here on News 360. I am Aniela Alote. Up next is entertainment news.
Entertainment news segment is brought to you by Awake Purified Drinking Water, GTP, still timeless, Vodafone, further together, and powered by 3 Entertainment.
Tonight in this segment, organizers of the Chalewote Street Art Festival are expecting to climax with the biggest musical concert tonight at the Independence Square. According to some artists, this year's event was to help project African identity. Let's bring you some sights and sounds from the Independence Square.
The streets of Osu presented a breathtaking scene as artists turned the entire space into a gallery of graffiti and street art materials. The platform connected creators to artwork enthusiasts and potential clients. According to artists, this year's event was to help project the African identity.
So you can see many people are trying not to be who they are because of the Western culture and stuff. But through this, we are trying to let people know who they are as African. Coming back to your roots as an African, and then knowing what you should do as an African in terms of how we talk, how we speak, and even what we do as African.
So it is the climax of what has promised to be the biggest art festival here in Ghana and of course Africa. Well, organizers of the Chalewote Street Art Festival are getting ready to climax it all with a musical concert tonight. The biggest platform for artists all over Ghana to exhibit their arts, moving from their initial area to Osu and the Independence Square. Some of the artists tells me it's been a beautiful one.
This year, I think it has been very good because looking at the previous days, the place is very crowded. And then this side, you can see a lot of people here. Everyone is free moving around, doing what they want to do. So I think this year it's okay.
So this is our first time here. And I think moving forward, we'll be coming. There's never going to be a Chalewote that we are going to miss out because we've really had fun today. We saw the Bobo dance, we had horse riding, and then some other stuff.
I have with me one of the sweetest voices here in Ghana when it comes to music. AC Music, she calls herself. Tell me, what have you seen so far?
This is art from a visual art background and also from performing arts. I feel like this holds the country because it brings, you see a lot of foreigners around and all that. So I think it's something worth investing in. Right. So they should invest in this.
We have international news coming up shortly.
Russian authorities say Wagner chief Yevgeny Prigozhin has been confirmed dead after genetic analysis of bodies found in Wednesday's plane crash. The investigative committee said the identities of all 10 victims had been established and corresponded to those on the flight's passenger list. Prigozhin's private jet came down northwest of Moscow on 25th August, killing all those on board. The Kremlin has denied speculation it was to blame for the crash. The investigative committee added it was continuing a criminal investigation. Donald Trump's election campaign says it has raised $7.1 million since his police mugshot was taken at a prison in Atlanta, Georgia on Thursday. Much of the money comes from merchandise such as mugs, T-shirts and drink coolers bearing the former president's scowling face. Trump was released on bail charged with plotting to overturn the state's 2020 election result. He faces 3 other indictments as he campaigns for the 2024 U.S. election. They include 2 related to his false claims that the election was stolen and the attack by his followers on the Capitol in Washington. Zimbabwe's president has been elected to a second term with 52.6% of the vote. But the opposition Citizens Coalition for Change also claimed to have won, saying there was widespread vote rigging, and observers said the vote fell short of democratic standards. Emmerson Mnangagwa came to power in a coup against veteran ruler Robert Mugabe in 2017.
That's all for News 360. Thanks very much for making a date with us. For more news, you can visit our website. It's www.3news.com. My name is Pa Kwesi Asari.
I am Portia Gabo. Up next is Ghana's Most Beautiful.